that divorce between Todd and Kandi is just woof. Okay. I was quite surprised to hear this new story or this new update and development. And it is that Kandi is now clapping back with documented footage from their wedding spinoff special. Do y'all remember? Did you get to watch their wedding spinoff special, by the way? It was very interesting. Like I said, I haven't finished. I was watching the new Diddy Reckoning documentary over on Netflix that 50 Cent just dropped. So I haven't been able to finish seeing the road to marriage for these two. But overall, just to give you guys a little bit of a catch up, yesterday we spoke about how Todd is filing for sole or primary custody of the children. He wanted final decision making on pretty much everything. He says that the kids are at home living with him while Kandi travels for work, being the breadwinner. And he said that she is expected to be traveling for a couple the next following months as well. So to him, it makes sense that he becomes the primary or the sole giver of the children, right? And he's also contesting that prenup. One thing about Todd and his scheme is that he's not, he's from around the way. He's leaving here with something, and he wants to fight back against all that was written in the prenup that he and Kandi had, which to me is absolutely insane, right? Because the prenup literally just said, from what we saw on the show, they get to both keep what it is that they came into that marriage with, and then the things that they earned in the marriage are being split. He's not entitled to her retirement. He's not like a life insurance or a whatever beneficiary, all those sorts of things. But, anything that he worked on with her, he already got a 50-50 split on. So I personally do not see what there is to fight over. It kind of seems as though he just wants Kandi's money in general. And that's a really, really bad look on him, right? So Kandi is not one to mess around with her coins. And so now, according to Us Weekly magazine, she and her legal team are turning to Bravo to help her fight Todd's claims. Remember how Todd said that he was handed the prenup without legal counsel, and he was forced to sign it at the last minute, and he wasn't prepared. And so, the validity of it is null and void, essentially. While Kandi has it on record that she had been trying to get this man to sign that prenup for a minute, and that he said out of his own mouth in his conversation with her lawyer while signing this prenup that he was doing so of his own accord, his own free will. He was not threatened, coerced, or anything like that, right? Look at him. You could just see it in him, his posture, everything. He was so mad. Like he was finally up against the wall. He tried to do everything to talk Kandi out of this or to scare Kandi out of, sticking through to this prenup situation. And so he was finally cornered and defeated. And he was really, really upset about that. And he wound up signing. And so, so let's get into what exactly it is that Kandi's lawyer said. Okay. So they said, and I quote, "The parties' journey to executing an enforceable prenuptial agreement was filmed and broadcast on Bravo Television Network with the knowledge and consent of both Burruss and Tucker for their 5-part reality television wedding documentary entitled Kandi's Wedding that premiered on June 1st, 2014. And, in this particular scene that you're seeing in this photo, this is what they're recalling when they say that Todd Tucker, quote, audibly announced that he was good to sign the prenuptial agreement during a private encounter with Burruss and after talking to his lawyer on and off camera. So, they truly, truly are fighting back here. And again, Todd is not going out without a fight. He has some really good lawyers as well. His lawyer is the same one that handled Nene Leakes' prenup. It's the same lawyer that handled all of Portia Williams' divorces and everything. So he's putting her money to good use there, right? So again, this is going to be quite the dispute. Don't forget that one thing that they went over and something that upset Todd in the prenup was that Kandi had very clearly stated that in the event of breakup, divorce, whatever, he would have to move out of that home within 30 days. And then Todd was negotiating for, and he eventually won, the fact that he wouldn't have to move out of the property, the estate, the compound in 30 days. In fact, he would be able to move to the guest house. But from what we've seen on social media, he is still very much living in that main house. And based off of their divorce filings, they have been separated for quite a while. So I do kind of feel like this is probably maybe the biggest thing that Todd is contesting in the prenup. I think that Todd wants to be able to keep that house for himself. And with him filing for sole primary custody of the children, he is going to use that as his kind of, key to being able to stay in that house, saying, hey, listen, I am the primary caretaker of these children. I do not want to disrupt their lives running around looking for a new home. I should be able to keep the house. So again, we're going to have to wait and see how all of that ultimately winds up playing out. Just because he asked for that sort of a custody agreement doesn't mean that it is granted to him. So we're going to have to wait and see how Kandi responds to that and who ultimately winds up winning in this battle over the children. Right. I do think and hope that they're going to be able to get a 50-50 agreement or a shared agreement because this feels very, very aggressive. Venetia, sorry, I don't know why. I thought it was your son. It was my daughter's birthday. And yes, she enjoyed her birthday and got the gift she wanted. Yes, love that. So happy to hear the update. Thank you. Terry says traveling doesn't mean she stops communicating. He's a grifter. Exactly. Right. I feel like you can't just punish the working parent, the breadwinner parent, for being out on business trips. I think it's very normal for parents to go off on business trips. So I don't personally see the strategy working. I think it's a desperate bid from a grifter, right? Trying to sink his claws into Kandi's money and to stake his claim in Kandi's house as well. That was bought well before he came into the picture. Theo says, Todd, the ultimate schemer, showing his true colors. Yes, indeed. Unfortunately, her mother, Mama Joyce, did indeed call it. She knew he was all about the money at the end of the day. And, you know, guys, as we're watching those clips continue to play out on TikTok about those weird conversations in the glam room that he would be having with Kandi and her friends and stuff, very red pill against women, very incel-y. It's just become more and more evident by the day. And yes, Coley, it's so sad. I hate that Mama Joyce is right, because I don't think that Mama Joyce is looking out for Kandi. I think that Mama Joyce was looking out for Mama Joyce. You know what I mean? And the fact that he proved her right just upsets me so much. By the way, good morning, Ronnie. Good morning, Kahara. Nice to see y'all. Claire says, it's crazy how he kept yelling, I don't want your money, to Kandi on the wedding special, yet here we are now. He was filing for alimony and against the prenup. Exactly. That's what it comes down to. And it is so freaking sad. She had him living high off the hog. She was buying him so many luxury gifts, so many expensive cars, all of these things that if he were running low on money, he can go ahead and pawn. And on top of that, they were owning businesses together, opening them, sorry. And in opening them, she was making him a 50-50 partner, despite these investments coming from her. And so those are other things that he got. Like, it feels like he should be just fine, but greed, right? Greed makes people do very, very crazy things at the end of the day. Angie says, yeah. Oh no, you're sick. I'm sorry. Get well soon, Angie. I'm glad you can join us still, but it sucks to be down, with a cold. Lord. Hopefully things warm up for you guys soon. And good morning, Amanda. Nice to see you. Princess says, you can't get divorced in Georgia unless there's a child support order. So he's probably trying to get every penny he can scrape. You can bet your bottom dollar that that's exactly what it is. Todd, the disrespect that you're able to see now, in hindsight, is absolutely crazy. I don't know how he was able to kind of skate or fly under the radar for so long. Hey, 2 snaps. Nice to see you, boo. Oh, Lord, I hope you weren't taken to the cleaners for child support either, Princess. So sorry. Oh